Hey guys, it's GG Trey here, and this is my Ice Rats build. It uses range attack totem and ice shot to add an additional defensive layer to what rangers already are, and it gives us the ability to use my favorite range skill on my favorite totems. So generally we're using range attack totem and ice shot. Forgive me, I've just kind of reached this part of the game. I've not leveled anything or bought any like level 20 jewels or anything like that, so yeah. So it's ice shot. Weapon Ellie, faster attacks added cold and hypothermia. Hypothermia is generally because everything is always chilled or frozen, so it is just an additional more damage multiplier, which is really nice. Including Pandemonious, because those things you chill will be blinded as well. Another defensive layer. And then we use Rat's Nest. This can be optional, but I would recommend a Rat's Nest and a better chest piece. Obviously, this is a Tabula. Anyways, with Frostbite, Chain, and Split Arrow, we're going to be using that to get Frostbite on the enemies for more penetration. And then we're going to use the Skirmish. I love this quiver. This is corrupted for an additional arrow, but it gives you another totem, which means that it gives us the option to play our totems, and they'll have the projectiles, meaning that we don't get any less multipliers from having more totems or additional arrows, which couples nicely with the Deadeye Ascendancy and Death's Opus, which gives us 2 more arrows. So I just like this build because it lets you do a lot without sacrificing a lot. Although it's a little counterintuitive, and I'll show you that in a bit and what some changes I'm going to make are. So basically, we went Deadeye, which is great because Deadeye is awesome because it works kind of well with point blank, because what it does is it allows you to gain a little bit of that damage back from a range when you don't shotgun. And it also lets us get an additional projectile, which helps us not have to run any LMPs or GMPs. And these skill points, I can't tell you how important they are. I wasn't even thinking about it, and they help out. But Inquisitor, for the increased crit strike against people affected by statuses, which is a pretty big deal. 120% is not little. And you take reduced damage on Conk Ground, more elemental damage, and you create Conk Ground. It's pretty good. I was considering using Gifts from Above with the build, which might not be a bad idea for the crit chance and the Conk Ground stuff. But yeah. So I'll talk about a couple of interesting edgy things that I kind of theory crafted with a friend. So this side of the map was, I chose this because I just wanted to get the 3rd totem to see what that's like. I'm quickly seeing it's not very nice, and it stretches the tree so much that it becomes difficult to even grab life. And I'll kind of show you here in PoE Builder what I do instead. So instead, what I want to do is, I took all this off, right? And instead, we move up this side of the tree, grabbing these life nodes, which are way more efficient and way closer to what we're doing, and even allows us to get more crit multiplier and crit chance. So that's kind of probably going to be where I'm going with this. Drop the 1 totem and start using totems myself. Start using ice shot myself with the totems, which with the placement speed, I think it works. And I know a lot of people are a bit opposed to you either go full totems or you don't. But I want to try it and see how it goes. I'll let you guys know how that works out. But another interesting thing I realized was that in this jewel slot here, there is a jewel called Lion Eyes. It's the jewel that converts a weapon or melee nodes into bow nodes, meaning you could pick up the physical and crit chance for claws here, or interestingly enough, if you did it up here, which wouldn't be a good idea, so whatever. If you do this Inquisitor, this might be cool. If you do it up here, these crit nodes will be converted, and you'd be able to get your knockback still, because instead of knockback with crit, you'll knockback with staff. Same thing here. If you pick it up here, you'll be able to pick up all the brand new crit nodes for the staff as well. So just some ideas. You'd also get the block chance here, and then a little bit of that, or a little interesting thing on that is that if you get the block chance, you won't actually get it until you get a base block chance. So you would need a rear guard, or you'd have to get some base block chance. You can get some base block chance from Gifts of Above. You'll get 5% being on consecrated ground. It would give you a base 5%, which then would give you 17 from these nodes here. Anyways, that was a little side thing, but I think this will be the more optimal way to go with the tree. because we'll get way more life. We're looking at an 185% increased life. So by no means with that and acrobatics are we going to die that easily. This build can go Combs hard if you go full totems, but I don't think we're going to do that. But our final destination is somewhere in the 5k life, more than that probably, so yeah. And then besides that, I think the build is interesting, except my main gripe with the build is that it can't do more than Itziri as of right now. I'm hoping to push that, but there's a fine line between, is this an ice shot build or is this a totem ice shot build? And that's where it gets difficult. So yeah, anyways, I'll show you a bit of I'll just show you a map really quick. It's a tier 10 we can do. It's got point blank on it, so oh shit, we'll give that a try. Rip. Cool. This is Arsenal. The thing about this build is that, you know, with low life, you probably don't want to be doing these maps. But the interesting thing about it is that the blind and the chill really give you a heavy defensive mechanic. And the totem placement speed is a big deal. As you can see, like, it can even still be difficult to place enough to like clear fast enough. That's not fun. And I do get stunned, which sucks a lot, so that's gonna have to change. And what kind of sucks is that without critting, you don't freeze that much with this build, which kind of like you would expect the freezing would just happen. I really shouldn't be doing a tier 10. Like, this can easily do strands, but tier 10s, I'm pushing it, especially with the life that I have, and I'm not even the right level, but whatever. So, I mean, the build is pretty interesting, and the fact that it blinds near everything that it hits, with the increased life we're going to be changing to, but we'll be dropping a totem and shooting ourselves. That's going to make the build extremely defensive, and I will be updating with a new video in a day or so showing those advances, but to be fair, I doubt I'm going to be able to do more than Itziri. I probably should upload a video of my Zombie Mancer doing Itziri, because I did do that the other day quite easily, so the build does a hell lot of damage. But I did decide to move on to this. God, I hate this map. But beyond that, I mean, that's really it. If you want, you can stick around for the end of the clear, but that won't happen.